Welcome to the My Life Counts podcast show, where we talk about anything dealing with mental health. My name is Jared Jones. I'm your mental health coach, and today we're going to talk about self-care. All right. A few things that I wanted to bring up with self-care, because especially in the days of COVID, self-care is extremely important. Many of us have kids and family members and things like that, and so we're so focused on helping others that we never really take the time to focus in on self-care. So I want to talk a little bit about self-care, what it is, and how to make it useful for you. So self-care is the idea of putting yourself first. Now, I know that a lot of people have like when you say the word selfish, a lot of people have it has a negative connotation to it. But the reality is, and sometimes you need to be selfish. If you get on the airplane and they tell you if the oxygen mask come down, you need to put the oxygen mask on yourself first before you put it on your kids or anything like that. And the reason for that is because they understand that you can't help anybody else if you're not in a good space. And that's the principle behind self-care. And see, some of us are just so focused on giving that we never take the time to give to ourselves. And because of that, we find ourselves in a rough space. You find yourself burned out. You hear that phrase, burned out. Why are you burnt out? Well, because you're giving more than you have. And then eventually you just get to a point to where you're just done. You don't have anything left. Nothing left in the tank. Because throughout the time you weren't taking any time to replenish your tank. Nobody would expect to drive another 100 miles on an empty tank. At some point they say, okay, I need to go ahead and fill up this gas tank, or expect the car to stop driving, right? And so the same is true with us. If we don't take the time to have some self-care, to put some gas in the tank, then the reality is that we're not good for anybody else. So we burn out. So there is a place where you do need to be selfish. There's a time for that. The Bible says there's a time and place for everything. And the reality is there's a time to care for others, and there's a time to be selfish. Now, when we're talking about self-care, a lot of people have different thoughts in their head about what it looks like. And years ago, there was this commercial, this Calgon commercial, and it had a lady in the bubble bath, and the phrase was, "Calgon, take me away." And she was talking about all of the stress that she was going through with work, family, kids, all this other stuff that was going on. And she, found some time in the bathroom to take a little bubble bath for a little bit of self-care. Now, here's the thing, like, that is self-care for somebody. But for somebody else, that could not be self-care. Some people don't like baths, right? So the key with self-care is that you have to find something that is good for you. And what's good for me may not be good for you, and vice versa. So this becomes the problem when you find all these videos or tools, methods on how to provide proper self-care. The reality is everybody's different. And so, for example, I love going to the gym, and the gym provides me self-care. But see, here's the thing. I'm not going to the gym because I want other people to look at me a certain way. I'm not going to the gym because I want people to say things about me. I'm going to the gym because I like to go to the gym. It is specifically for me. Now, does it have some residual effects? Of course. I look a certain way, and people say certain things, and that's fine. But that's not why I'm going to the gym. I go to the gym for me. And a lot of times we do things and we think that we're doing it for us, but in reality, we're doing it for others. We're doing it so that others can say things, others can get a certain impression, and that's not self-care. The reality is self-care has all to do about you. One of the problems that we have in this society is that we don't know what we like. So if I ask you what you like, you'll say, I don't know. Or you give an example of something that you like, but then when you really start to think about it, is it something that you like? Or is it something that somebody introduced you to that they liked? And you just went along with it. One good example of this is being like a social drinker. I remember back in the day when I used to go out with my friends or whatever, and they would drink alcohol, and I never liked alcohol. But I would turn into a social drinker because that's what everybody was doing. And so now I'm at a point now where I could say, look, now y'all can have that. And I'll do something that I like. Like, I don't mind going out. I don't mind going to, a show or something like that, but I'm not going to drink. And this is knowing myself. The thing is, in order to provide proper self-care to yourself, you have to know what you like. And so you have to take some kind of self-inventory. What are the things that you like? Not the things that people like about you, but the things that you like. If you like getting your hair done for you, that's great. But if you like getting your hair done because other people are telling you your hair looks good, well, that's a dangerous place. Because if you're looking for approval of other people, then as soon as somebody says they don't like your hair, now where are you? See, this is about self-care, not about others helping us with self-care. This is about self-care. So you have to go into a place where you say, you know what, I like getting my hair done. I like the way it looks, and I don't really care what you think. That's self-care. And so a lot of times when we bring up self-care, we're bringing up stuff that actually helps other people or puts us in a position where we can help other people. But I want to look at it in a very selfish way. Now, take everybody out of the equation. The only people that's in the equation is you. It's you and what you like. Because at the end of the day, that is what's going to help you with your self-care. I can give you tons of examples, but if you don't like any of them, then you need to find something that's good for you. I'll probably be doing a show a little later on self-care and some different techniques, but the reality is, again, I just want you to focus on you. Yes, there is a time to be selfish. So with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap up. Thank you for listening to the My Life Count podcast. Again, I'm your mental health coach, Jared Jones, and I want you to remember and always say to yourself, my life counts.